Good morning. My name is Patty Chamberlain, and I'm the Director of Children's Ministries here at Westminster. A few weeks ago, during one of our staff meetings, I was working on a quilt that just needs the binding hand-stitched. Someone asked me what I was doing, and as I explained, it dawned on me that sewing and quilting is a wonderful metaphor that can be applied to what we are experiencing today with COVID and race relations. Ecclesiastes 3 starts, "For everything there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven." It's a verse we all know so well through the song Turn, Turn, Turn. And one of the verses, verse 7, states, "It is a time to rend or to tear into small pieces, and a time to sow, S-E-W, not S-O-W. Now, sewing is a skill that has been a part of me all my life. I'm currently not a sewer, but I've learned this lifelong skill from my mom, Marge, and my mother-in-law, Mary. I'd like to show you a photo of quilts that they each made. Rob's mom's quilt is on the left, and my mom's quilt is on the right. When I was little, my mom sewed all of our clothes. She made matching outfits, she made our baby doll clothes and Barbie clothes, and she sewed gifts, crafts, quilts, you name it. She's a whiz at the sewing machine and putting patterns together. I have fond memories of going through the Sewing the Simplicity, the McCall's, and the Butterick books, looking for an outfit, going to the fabric store to pick out the perfect fabric, and then watch my mom make my new clothes. She made our bathing suits, and she even made my senior prom dress. My mom worked at a sewing store for many years, and she machine sewed quilts for all of her grandchildren when they graduated from high school. That's Caroline's quilt on the right. Once I married Rob, I was introduced to a different style of sewing. Mary is a hand quilter. She learned this craft from her mom and her grandma, and she attempted to teach me, and I did make 2 baby quilts. She had an amazing eye for envisioning a completed quilt from a room full of fabric, an array of quilting patterns, and was not only accomplished at the sewing machine, but was a master at hand quilting. She spent hours and hours and hours quilting by hand every quilt she made. The quilt on the left is the quilt that she made for when Rob and I were married. She would design a pattern for each quilt to inspire the person who received the quilts. Mary quilted in patterns, words, quotes, Bible verses, dates, and notes of love. My mom now sews quarantine masks, and Mary has lost her ability to create any part of a quilt. But if we are willing, and we are able to learn so much from both of their sewing techniques. We're in a time in our city, state, country, and world where we need to create a new quilt out of the pieces that we've rendered or torn from our old one. Here's what we can learn from both of my moms for today's uncertain world. To create our new quilt, we all need to work together to create the new pattern. Then it needs to be held in place by I don't know if you can see this, large quilt basting stitches or actions. However, that's not enough. In order to get to the final picture, little tiny stitches need to be taken. Sometimes these stitches can be done machine-like fast, and sometimes they need to be done painstakingly slow. But both help us keep moving forward. Occasionally, we need to take a step back and pull out a mistake, and that's okay. But don't let that mistake prevent us from getting back to working on the new pattern, design, and moving forward. Now, in order to create something that's intricate, detailed, and large with big, loose space, it's hard to create something that's intricate, detailed, and large with really big basting stitches. What I mean is that we have to create a more inclusive, safer world. We can't be too quick and too loose in our thoughts and actions. We need to create a new way, normal, whatever, and hold it together with our larger ideas. But then we need to come back in and strengthen it with our smaller stitches. It's the everyday actions, words, discussions that tightly and completely sew together the new idea, new normal, or quilt. Finally, it's okay to ask for help, or for us, as I'm doing with this quilt that Mary didn't finish, to step in and see what we can do that help when help is needed. Sometimes you can't and don't need to complete a project by yourself. I'd like to close this devotional with a quote from Maya Angelou. In her quote, she uses the word tapestry. I hope you all don't mind that for this devotional, I've substituted the word quilt for her word tapestry. We all should know that diversity makes for a rich quilt/tapestry. And we must understand that all the threads of the quilt are equal in value, no matter what their color. Spread hope, give love, find joy, don't quit, and help stitch the quilt. Amen. Woo!